Who here, when they were a teenager or a young adult, made a stupid financial mistake that they regret? No? Less of you than I thought, but maybe we're not being completely honest. But this is why we're here today with RedSTART. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a history of RedSTART, how it started, what we're working on now, and why we're delighted to be here today. So we founded RedSTART back in 2012. If you remember, that was the year of auto-enrollment, and that's significant because of the shift of financial responsibility from the employer to the employee. But shh, no one told us. You all thought we had a pension. And what's the difference between a final salary and a defined contribution pension anyway? Well, all of us know there is a huge difference. Who of us knows how much should we be contributing? How does tax relief work? How much should we have in equities? Where should we be investing in it? And what happens when we retire? How are we going to invest? And so we thought, okay, let's go and start teaching financial education. We were young entrepreneurs, and inspired by Richard Branson, we just said, screw it, let's do it. So we used to be based around Old Street Roundabout. We approached our local secondary school, and we went in and started teaching teenagers how to budget, how to save, how to invest, and how to give back. And then the next year, in 2013, Cambridge University came out with this research that said our money-saving habits are formed at the age of 7. So we quickly pivoted to focus on financial education. And when you start teaching young kids, if any of you have primary school kids, you'll know that you can't just stand in front of them and teach. So we created a game, an experiential learning called Money Counts. We wanted to teach them 3 things: how to earn it, how to keep it, and how to grow it. And so you can see behind me some of the games that they've got. Now when it comes to keeping it, we have a character called Rich Ricky, and we literally scam the kids out of their money. And we do get some really upset boys and girls. Normally the boys, because more of the boys fall for Rich Ricky than girls, and we've done that with 45,000 kids now. But my favourite is Grow It, the magic of compound interest. And so this young girl here is building towers, and through building towers under time pressure, we teach them the magic of compound interest and the magic of diversification. So we've been doing this for about 10 years, patted ourselves on the back. We've reached 45,000 children. And then we thought, but what impact have we had? There are actually 4.7 million children in primary school in the UK. And so our new CEO, Sarah Marks, and our new chair of trustees, Roger Mason, came in 2 years ago and reviewed the strategy and asked ourselves the question, how can we have the biggest impact? Let's begin with the end in mind. How do we get high quality financial education on the primary school syllabus? To do that, we need to change the game. We need to convince the Department of Education that delivery of financial education at primary school works and it makes an impact. And to do this, we need to do a longitudinal study. So we are working with King's College Policy Institute. We're working with over 30 schools, some of the poorest schools in the country, in Bristol, in London, in Lowestoft, in Cardiff, in Newcastle. And we are going to work with these schools for the next 7 years. If any of you have watched The Secret Lives of 4-Year-Olds, you'll know what I mean. We're literally going to track 15,000 kids. And we've been doing this. We started last year, so we're just about to go into our 2nd year. And we hope at the end of that, we're going to get a report from King's College Policy Institute and from BCG showing the social return on investment of teaching young children about money. Now, to bring that to life, I want to share a story with you about Olivia. She goes to school in Lowestoft in East Suffolk. I think many of you will know it's a pretty poor coastal town, and life's not great for many of the people who live there. The reason why Olivia resonates with me is she's 6. She just started year 2 this week. She's the same age as my daughter. She faces 2 paths. The first path is she'll get to the end of her primary school because she's a COVID girl. Like most of the kids at the schools we're engaging with, when they graduate from primary school, they can't even add up 8 plus 3. That's the impact of COVID. In 10 years' time, she will be 16, and she will be confronted with buy now, pay later. She'll buy stuff, full stuff. The debt starts. Tick, tick, tick. Starts to strangle her like millions of young people. Some of you in this room probably know what it's like to be in debt and to feel that vicious strangle of debt. The FCA tells us there are millions of people who are in this situation. And we know that over half of mental health cases are to do with money issues and indebtedness. And that shadow of debt will be with Olivia for the rest of her life. There's a second path, the change the game path, the path where she comes to school. She gets to play Money Counts. She gets RedSTART pounds for coming to school. There's an app where she takes part and she earns maths. She gets more points. There's a shop where she can buy a rubber and a ruler. There's a shop if she saves and puts it into a saving account, she can buy a nice toy at the end of the year. And over the rest of the time, she will leave feeling confident about money. She'll be less likely to make the financial mistakes that we've all made. We're all lucky that we were able to bounce out of those financial mistakes. She will feel confident at maths and at money, and she'll go and set up her own business. She will inspire her parents, her brother, her friends to do different. We've got 15,000 children like Olivia, like Oliver in our program. But in 2030, we believe we can change the game. We can get the government to put financial education on the primary school syllabus and change the game for 4.7 million Olivers and Olivias. And I want to ask you to help. So first of all, I want to thank all of you for supporting RedSTART. There's some amazing prizes, so be generous, dig in. All of the money tonight goes towards RedSTART. If you do want to support us, so actually Aviva Investors, part of Aviva, is one of our funders. If you want to support one of our schools, please get in touch. I've got one of my colleagues, Steve, right at the back, who's waving his hands. But I just want to wish every single one of you good luck, have fun, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.